Please join me in Gassho. Namandavs, 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 namandavs. Namandavs, namandavs. Namandavs, namandavs, namandavs. My eyes being hindered by blind passions, I cannot perceive the light that grasps me. Yet the great compassion without tiring illumines me always. My eyes being hindered by blind passions, I cannot perceive the light that grasps me. Yet the great compassion without tiring illumines me always. Namandavs, 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 namandavs. Hello everyone. Thank you for watching this video. And welcome to the English Dharma service at Tsukiji Honganji YouTube channel. I'm Kana Kumahara from Shozenji Temple, where I am right now. It's located in Toda City, Saitama Prefecture. It's right next to Tokyo, actually. I work with my father, who is the president, and my mother at our temple. This service was actually held at Tsukiji Honganji Temple before the COVID-19 spreads. So when the situation got well, and if you are in Japan or if you are able to come to Japan to visit, please feel free to join us, okay? I am so grateful to be here. I have been attending this service for a few years now. When I was in college, I went to the United States for studying abroad because I have always loved learning English and the culture. During my time studying abroad, my American friend asked me, "Please tell me your religion." At that time, I couldn't explain well, and it remains in my heart. After I came back in Japan, I pondered on how I could give people insights of Jodo Buddhism in English. Luckily, my father was one step ahead of me and introduced me this English service. That is the reason why I started attending this service, where I have been helping since 2018. In March this year, I was given the honor of the speaker of this service. It was my first time, so I was really nervous. Well, as you can see, I'm very nervous today as well. But they have given me another opportunity to listen and speak of Amida Buddha, and then listen and speak of the Dharma talk about Amida Buddha and the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu. So I would like to share it with everyone together. Now, I would like to talk about the hymn which I recited at the beginning while explaining. Also, I would like to use a PowerPoint, which I think you already see, with a little bit of Japanese, for just in case, so that we can share the image easier, I hope. The hymn is "My eyes being hindered by blind passions, I cannot perceive the light that grasps me. Yet the great compassion without tiring illumines me always." This hymn is from the Sacred Sutra, which is the source of today's theme, "Little did I know I wasn't alone." Shinran Shonin, the founder of Jodo Buddhism, wrote a vast amount of books. And there are 3 series of hymns which are called as 3 Buddhist verses. In Japanese, Sanjo Wasan. There are Japanese they are Japanese hymns which are written in admiration of Amida Buddha and its attainment of enlightenment. Shinran Shonin admired masters who imparted the salvation of the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu to us, especially the seven masters, Nagarjuna and Basbandhu of India, Tao Tanluan, Tao Chou, and Shantou of China, Genshin and Genku of Japan. The hymn which I'm talking about is one of the hymns which admires Genshin in hymns of the Pure Land Masters. The hymn will be our topic of discussion. Let's break it down, shall we? First sentence say, my eyes being hindered by blind passions. It's a metaphor as my mind is filled with the blind passions. That's why there is no space to break through it, even if the light that grasps me already reaches me. The word blind passions mean things which bother our mind and body. What bothers us? There are so many things it can be called as blind passions, and I am going to talk about a few in here. First, it's greed or desire. Now, imagine this situation. When you want to get something, you try to get it and you have it. And then you want more. Do you think you are satisfied? It's greed or desire which occurs our mind one after another. Second, it's mind of anger, like getting irritated easily when everything isn't going well as we want it to be. We probably look like this cute hamster when we get irritated, don't we? And third, it's suitability. When we look at things or people, we unconsciously capture them with the filter that is made by own sense of values, thoughts, and opinions. By thinking that I know everything. Therefore, we tend to have a real soft spot for things we like, and on the other hand, we tend to have things which we don't like at a distance. It's also because of self-centeredness. That's why we grumble at anything when things don't go as expected. That's called suitability. Those three are called as three poisons in Japanese, and in Buddhism. In Japanese, sandoku in Buddhism. Yet, there are more as blind passions, and I would like to talk about that next time. So, those things bother us even if you don't think it does. The second part of hymn is, I cannot perceive the light that grasps me. Amida Buddha always reaches me and hasn't abandoned me. Amida Buddha wants you to know that you are important the way you are. Amida Buddha never evaluates me nor rejects me, even if someone points towards me. Amida Buddha embraces me the way I am should be enough, and I do not need to change or walk different path chosen by someone else, because it doesn't matter how I live or how I die. It doesn't mean that we're allowed to do anything, even if it's a bad thing though, for those who are using this as an excuse. The major parts too, I cannot perceive the light that grasps me. I would like you to know that Amida Buddha hasn't stopped reaching you and holding you. Many things may become an obstacle, like blind passions for us. Blind passions for us. Many things may become an obstacle, like blind passions, to attain Amida Buddha's works for us. But Amida Buddha always reaches us, whenever, wherever, and whatever we are. The rest of the hymns are, yet the great compassion without tiring illumines me always. Now, as the metaphor for my mind, imagine this situation. When I'm in the room with no lights, I can't find any clue to get out the room because I can't see anything. I even can't know where I'm standing. If there is a ray of light, I am able to walk with it. No lights mean I have darkness in my mind caused by blind passions, as I said. So I cannot perceive the light from Amida Buddha because of my blind passions. It shows me that blind passions in my mind make me not see things as the way they are. But Amida Buddha's great compassion break through the darkness in my mind and illuminates there. Then it makes me see and realize who I actually am. Don't take it for granted. It's a really wonderful, precious thing to be grateful for. Now, I'm going to talk about how I chose this theme. Little did I know I wasn't alone. This is one of the opportunities that I am able to explain why. Well, I'm kind of not supposed to talk about myself in here, but it is very important happen to help me realize how warm Amida Buddha is. So I would like you to share it with you all. It was about 9 years ago. As I said at the beginning, I went to the United States to study abroad as an exchange student for a year while I was in college. During that year, I had lost 4 important people in my life. I lost 2 grandmothers, an uncle who took good care of me when I visited Hokkaido, where my mom comes from, and a friend who was in the same class with me at junior high school. It might have happened by chance, but when I received the news, it shocked me and allowed me to regret attending school across the ocean. Many nights I would cry myself to sleep and wouldn't attend class. Later on, my friends would take me to a restaurant to try to cheer me up. And my parents would call me constantly every few hours to check up on me. They told me that it's okay. You don't have to worry at all. You are absolutely not alone all the time, whenever, wherever, and whatever you are. We are always here for you. And more than anything, Amida Buddha is always with you, walks with you, and holds you all the time, not only when you're happy, but also when you are sad. When you shed a tear, Amida Buddha sheds a tear with you. Your grandmothers, uncle, and friend whom you love became Buddhas as Amida Buddha and are with you and guiding you right now. Recite the Nembutsu of Namamida Butsu with us. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. There is already Amida Buddha reaching you, they said. And I was hesitant at first, so I couldn't recite the Nembutsu of Namamida Butsu. But they told me these things several times, and I could recite it, the Nembutsu of Namamida Butsu, with them. They made me realize that I am not alone and encouraged me to keep moving with my studies. Sadness and loneliness didn't go away, but I felt relief by knowing that I am not alone. I was finally able to sleep much better the following night, and I was able to attend the class. Back then, I started to begin an old routine which I was doing at my temple before I went to the US. Greeting to Amida Buddha, like this. Good morning, I'm going to school. Namamida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Hi, I'm back. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. And good night. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. I only had just brought the picture, an Amida Buddha's picture with me from Japan because my parents had told me to, and had just put it on my desk and not really paid much attention to it until then. This opportunity made me realize so many things, such as I was never alone, even if I turned my back on Amida Buddha. The moment was a giant turn point on realizing how warm Amida Buddha is and always with me no matter what. In our daily life, each of us tend to think that we live our life on our own. However, in fact, we are closely connected with so many people and things through living everyday life. It's expressed as engi in Buddhism. Some of you might think right now this isn't true. Well, why don't we think about it a little? For instance, when we buy some vegetables at the supermarket, it's already there on the shelf, right? It's already there on the shelf. There are so many people connecting to support it. Farmers who grow vegetables with the utmost care from the beginning. People who provide some materials to help them. Transporters who carry the foods carefully. Employees at the store who display the foods on the shelf. And cashiers who help us to buy them. All of them are connected to each other, and it's called engi in Buddhism. Engi, and it's called as goen in Japanese. Also, in our daily life, the subject is always I all the time. As I said at the beginning, we don't realize it. And sometimes we tend to get irritated easily, or try to shift responsibilities onto someone when everything isn't going well or isn't going the way we want. Amida Buddha helps us to realize this. And moreover, Amida Buddha always reaches me reaches us and works for us, whether I believe it or not, remember it or forget it, while telling me that you don't have to worry at all. I'm definitely going to save you. You are so important the way you are. I'm definitely not going to leave you alone and not take my eyes off you. Just leave it all to me. I, on the other hand, only think about myself. But Amida Buddha doesn't tell me that you should stop thinking that way, and doesn't set me any conditions on me. Instead, Amida Buddha break through my mind's blind passions with the great compassion, and always illumines me and brings me up by leading the right way. At the beginning of this service, I said, please join me in Gassho. And we recited the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu while we put our hands together. It is already the first step. To Amida Buddha's work, Amida Buddha reaching out to us. It is not an incantation, but a proof that Amida Buddha is already working and reaching for you. As I end this service, I want to remind that Amida Buddha keeps calling me with, just leave it all to me. I'm definitely going to save you. The way of Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu. Amida Buddha doesn't watch us from the far away. Already being here with me right now, right here. We are not alone all the time. If it's hard for you to say the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu, like Namanda Butsu, it's okay. If it's okay to say it in your heart. The very important things in here is it's so obvious that Amida Buddha's working is already reaching here when you try to recite it. You are definitely not alone all the time, whenever, wherever, and whatever you are. When I hear that I am in the middle of celebration, all I can do is be thankful to Amida Buddha and try to do my best in everyday life. Amida Buddha brings us up by walking through life with us. But you and I go through our life with reciting of the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.